You know, if a company is under statutory management, if a company dies, all those claims become the responsibility of the insured.
Yeah.
It is your personal responsibility. And poor Kenyans out there who are being chased all over the place, where do you get 300,000 shillings? And you know, our court system has been giving horrendous judgments, very exaggerated judgments. Where do you get 200,000 shillings, 300,000 shillings, 500,000 to pay claims for people who are injured in your vehicle? And then they set auctioneers on you. So I began to think, probably we shouldn't kill it. There's something that can be done. And I began to think, well, if I look at the claims, and perhaps there is something that could be done about managing the claims, probably you could find an investor interested in putting money in the company. And who knows, we might then begin to move the company forward.
So
one thing that was motivating to me is looking through the books. I very quickly formed the opinion, which I hold up to today, and borne now by facts. I formed the opinion that at least 50% of those claims were fraudulent.
Oh, fraudulent.
Yes, they were. It's just thuggery, created by lawyers and allowed by management that really was not interested in protecting the company. And I began to think, if I can somehow cut out these thuggish claims, so to speak, if I can get rid of these claims which are not payable, and get an investor who is interested to put in money in this company, and bearing in mind that the penetration ratio in this country is only barely 3%. There's 97% of Kenyans who know nothing about insurance company or insurance business. So if somehow an investor saw the big picture, they can put money in this company. We control the claims. We put a good business case. It's possible to raise this company from the dead and save the lives of many people who otherwise would get destroyed. That is what basically motivated me to want to do something different. I wrote a memorandum. It was published by the Daily Nation, and I began to receive all manner of inquiries. Yeah, it's possible to put money in this company. What do you think? And I engaged quite a number of them in discussions. And ultimately, well, one failed who was very, very promising. After the whole thing was messed up by the former shareholders. But ultimately, we were able to get the Matatu Owners Association saying, yes, indeed, I think we can put money in this company.
So are you still continuing insuring public PSVs?
You know, our story began last year in January. On the 18th of January, we reopened business. We were actually relicensed as a going concern, and we began insuring. PSV is our entry point in the business. The company was known for PSV, and it is natural that if we get back in business, we go through PSV. But what many people don't know, and this is really going to be the focus for the company going forward, is that we are going to insure everything in general insurance. We are licensed, fully licensed, to insure all classes of general insurance business, and we are making very good progress. Of course, on the 18th of January last year, we wrote, for the rest of that year, we wrote very little business. It was just about 400,000 shillings. But by the end of 11 months, at the end of the year, we had done at least $500 million. And I think that is a good indication that the market is beginning to sense our presence and accept us back.
So what guarantee is there that you'll survive?
Confidence. That is the only guarantee I can give. You see, Mwanamotegi, insurance, like banking, is about public confidence.
Yeah, trust.
Trust.
And having seen what
having died.
And particularly using the same name.
Absolutely. You know, having died and rose from the dead, I think we've been talking about resurrection. Having died and risen from the dead, I think that's good indication that there's something going on here. And we want to build confidence. This business is about confidence. And the last 12 months are very good testimony that our confidence, our people are gaining a lot of confidence in this company. It is not very usual for a company to come from statutory management to write within 11 months 500 million shillings worth of business. And we are getting stronger, projecting forward. We are thinking at least about 1 billion. Now, doing that within about a year and a half, 2 years, I think it's a good indication that we are building public confidence in the company. The other thing which is very important, and the company is very aware of it, is that this business is about meeting your obligation to the public. The public really, from where I see it, the public is not extremely worried about the name. Like they say, what is in a name anyway. The public is concerned about, can I get my claim paid? In the last 12 months, a paid claims worth at least 140 million shillings. And this is without compulsion. I've been calling people, I have seen your claim here, this is your check, you know, and then I appeal for new business to come. And we want to continue with that trend. And we believe if we are meeting a felt need, if we are building public confidence, the company will grow from strength to strength. Now, you've asked me the question, so why didn't you change the name? Because Motegi, a pig remains a pig, whatever you do to it. If you pick a pig, you clean it, you put a ribbon on it, and then you release it, it will go to the mud. I think the thing for us, we want to change the heart of the pig. This company was muddy, messy, and even if you jump into making a new name without changing the heart, it is completely useless. We therefore want to clean up this company, build public confidence, and if people want to change the name later, it's neither here nor there for me. But we want to change the way we do things. I've just signed a consultancy for a strategic plan for the next 3 years. We want to have a strategic plan for the next 3 years. We've also signed a consultancy to do ISO certification, which is a fancy word of saying we want to be known, we want to be judged by world standards, world-class standards. We want to be ISO certified
other insurance companies
within the next 1 year.
Other insurance companies which are ISO certified.
Yes, I think we do. I do not remember all the names right now, but they are. But it's simply a way of defining your promises and how you're going to keep them to the insuring public, which I think is a very good thing to do. And we believe when we are through that process, you will be able to say, I will be able to say, I can pay you a claim within a known period of time. I'll be able to give you underwriting documents within a known period of time. I'm going to meet my obligations in whichever way within a known period of time. We want to play at the world-class standard.
Are you taking live?
Not right now. I think we have enough in our hands in trying to do the general business. Later on, we might consider.
So what do you do apart from TSV? General,
everything else. I mean, you have the public survey vehicle, you have the commercial vehicle, you have the power, I mean, the fire classes of insurance, you have the personal accident, all the other classes of insurance we do underwrite. You
have already told me that only 3% of Kenyans are interested or even know about insurance.
That's true.
In fact, even vehicles, if it is not for the law, people will not insure them.
Yes.
It just shows that people have no confidence in insuring, or they don't, either ignorance or they have no trust because of this failing company.
I think you are right that people do not trust the insurance business. I think if they did, the penetration ratio would be bigger. At 3%, in fact, it's 2.85. I think there's an article in today's newspaper which quotes 2.85% as a penetration ratio. Out of every 100 Kenyans, only 3 either have a policy or know anything about insurance. I think it is tragic. And the main reason for that is because people do not identify insurance as a friend. And the reason is simple. You buy insurance so that should you be in a problem, then I can come and help you. I can pay my claim to you.
In fact, in the Western countries, some people even insure their voice.
Absolutely.
Or insure their
We saw all manner of things.
Yes, you know,
their voice,
whatever you think is very valuable to you.
You insure.
You insure.
And that is good.
Not even life.
It's because we as insurers have not been honest in meeting our obligations. We've not been prompt in meeting our obligations to the public. Of course, we say many things about customer service, but we don't mean it. We write books in the name of strategic plans, but we don't mean anything. They simply, you pick good documents, put them in the shelf, and you're happy to tell everybody, we've done our strategic plan. That really is not going to help us. We need to turn the tables. We need to help the public know that insurance is part of life, and it ought to be part of life. Yes, you're right. When you say, if it was not for the legal requirement, very few Kenyans would insure. Because really, when my vehicle is off the road, Panamotegi, and I put in a claim, I don't want stories. And
they find
and insurance companies,
they look for every reason not to pay.
Every reason to tell wild stories. I want my vehicle back on the road. Please save me stories. I don't want to know. I want my vehicle on the road. So because we have not really delivered, that's how we end up with such a pathetic penetration ratio. You know, we have about 45 companies in this country. You know, they're all fighting over the 3%. 3% and copying each other. Copy and paste every policy that you pick. And we are fighting over that. I think it's time someone begin to scan the horizon and see the 90%, 97% of Kenyans who do not know insurance, who do not have insurance. It is those who will be able to tap that market who will not only make money, but also impact the society. Because the real issue is really not to make money. I think every thug can make money. I think the real issue is to impact society. And you have 97% of people sitting there waiting for a discerning insurer to come and give them policies which meet their need, not which meet our need.
INVESCO is the one who insured the city hall when it got banned.
Yes.
I don't know whether were they able to pay.
I think a little was paid before the company was closed, but
yes.
I am still dealing with that matter. Only last week I was talking with the lawyers involved. We are still paying that claim. It's unfortunate because I have not been able to quite trace the money, the premium. I can see the paperwork that premium was paid, but I've not been able to see the cash in the company. But that notwithstanding, I think there was a contract between INVESCO and City Hall, and therefore we are liable for the claim to whatever extent, and we are paying and we are liquidating that claim.
Mr. Njenga, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Before we close the program, we normally have a quote of the day. And here is a quote, if you can bring it. And it says that, I can't read it.
Men's best success come after their disappointment.
Yeah,
by Henry Ward.
Yes. Can you read it again?
Men's best success comes after their disappointments. And INVESCO was very much disappointed.
I think that quote actually aptly fits your company.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
But we will rise from the ashes and from the disappointments to greater heights.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot we can say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On behalf of the people around this program, Kerigo and others, Mwakazi, have a nice morning.
Thank you very much.